Hello and welcome to my Self Talks. Today's topic will be how to energetically disconnect from things, people, and events that we do not want in our life anymore, and that will help us to make New Year resolutions that will actually work. So let's go into it. Why to energetically disconnect when we are already physically disconnected? Imagine situation you have just maybe gone through a breakup and you have physically disconnected with your boyfriend and you do not live with each other anymore, you do not see each other anymore, but still you have memories, you have feelings, and a lot of stuff that you have gone through only together. And all this stuff may remain in you for a very long time and may even interrupt or intervene into your decisions. And as you don't want this anymore in your life, we need to energetically disconnect what you have energetically connected before. I will also briefly talk about our habits, because it is very same topic, let's say. Even though it's not a person, you may have habits that you want to get rid of, that you want to break up with, let's say. And when you want to break up with something, for example, you don't want to drink alcohol anymore because it doesn't serve you, or you don't want to smoke anymore, or you don't want to swear or procrastinate or whatever you don't want anymore. You want to actually go through a breakup with this habit you have grown into in your life. And this habit, imagine it to be the same situation as your ex-boyfriend. If you stop smoking or drinking or procrastinating immediately, you will still have all these memories, this imprint, energetical imprint in your body, because you have been with this habit for a very long time. And if you don't want it anymore, again, you need to energetically disconnect with it. So now we see why it serves the energetical disconnection, why it serves us in making New Year's resolutions, because New Year's resolutions, these are some dreams or wishes or new habits that we want to grow. We want to change something. That's why we do these resolutions, because we want to change something in our life, in our current life, and we want it to have more quality in it. We want to live more free. We want to be more in our own authority and our own power. And that's why we do these resolutions. And in order to make a good resolution that would make something in your physical life that will make a change, you need to make the change on every level of you that is. So first, you need to energetically disconnect with your past habits that are in direct opposition to your new resolutions, to your new habits. And now I will share a tip how to do that. It will be a small ritual. In my previous video, I've been already describing, let's say, sort of a beginning of a ritual when you want to focus on something. Every time you do a ritual, it's needed for that to access certain brain frequency, let's say. You can also call it state of mind, and it's definitely something we call light trance or even trance. And this state of mind you access when being hypnotized. Also, hypnotherapy works with this lower state of your brain, this low frequency. And this state of mind you have at least twice in your day, and that is when you are waking up, when you are not woken up yet in your fullest attention. You are somewhere in the middle of a dream and your physical attention. So, and when you, the second state, or the same state during the day, you access when you go to sleep. So when you cross this state of full attention and activity to slowly calming down your brain till you sleep. So now you know what sort of state you're looking for. And now I will also share some tips how to energetically make sure that nothing will interrupt you from the energetical realm or spiritual realm, because when you are making a ritual, something can or someone can interrupt you from the physical realm. We understand that your parents suddenly come home and they start to talk to you in the middle. So that's a physical interruption. Well, and spiritual interruption would be when some spiritual entity or just some energy, let's say, wants to join you and you don't want any interruption except these that you have called your guides. So how to make sure that nothing will enter your space and interrupt you? Physically, you probably know what to do, and energetically and spiritually. In shamanism, we use a lot smudges, smoke. You can use smokes of all sorts of traditions. You can buy it in probably any esoterical, let's say, shops and tea houses and stuff like that. It can be white sage, it's very popular, Palo Santo, stuff like that, or it can be just those nice smelling sticks. You choose what you prefer, what sort of energy you prefer, and because these are usually made out of natural plants or stuff like that, and you want to make sure that you choose the plant that speaks to you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a plant that you have in your hometown or where you've grown. It can be really white sage that grows in California. So you choose, just make your own research what you like and do the ritual. I also like exact start and exact ending, and you can do it by lighting a a candle. So light a candle, do some smudges, and after that you can also use music if you want. Shaman drumming, Tibetan bowls, stuff like that. You choose again. And then when you make this like a protection, the most important thing is not the physical stuff you do in the ritual, but your intention and the energy you put into it. Forget about like prescribed rituals. If it's not what serves your energy, then don't do it. If it is something you like and it somehow, gives you the fuel, gives you the energy, so do it. But I keep things simple. So just have a clear intention, and that intention would be energetically disconnect out of, and now you name it, out of smoking, out of drinking, out of my boyfriend, out of my previous school, out of whatever. Energetical disconnect, and then one thing, not everything at once, one thing. And now lay down or sit how you want and go into this light trance, go into this lower brain frequency of yours and focus on breathing, and then say this intention so that it would bring to you images. And now when you are energetically disconnecting from this thing you've named, the image of that will come to you. So it can be a cigarette, it can be whatever, or it can be just an abstract thing that would actually represent the smoking in the energetical level. So it will be like a spirit of smoking, let's say, or spirit of your boyfriend, spirit of your school, and you will energetically disconnect from this. Focus on the connections. Usually it represents as some ropes or stuff like that, something that is connected between you and between that thing or thing, and then cut it with anything you want, scissors, saw, anything. It's really up to your creativity and imagination, as your dreams are very creative. And actually, for example, lucid dreaming also works with this creativity. We as humans are very creative, and we should use this creativity to create our lives and to create these things that we want. That means now you want to create this breaking of these ropes of connections. So break it however you want, and then heal it with light, so that nothing could ever again connect with you if you don't want. That's also a good thing to know consciously what and who are you connecting with, because sometimes we make connection, we are too open, and if you are too open and you have these, like connecting ropes or whatever open too much, it will automatically connect with whoever and whatever, and you don't want that, because now it has access to your energetical system and it can actually influence you in your decisions, in your energetical level, and in everything. So have some boundaries, and you consciously choose who are you connecting to, and and why. So this is something like an advice for this new year and your whole life. Back to the ritual. When you have disconnected everything and you have healed these things by the light, you can even use symbols that, for example, correspond with like your system, let's say, because it's very general and it's a whole topic of symbols. So if you have just a symbol on your mind that you are using for some purposes, you can use it for healing. And that's it. If you're disconnected, say bye, goodbye, never see you again, and you're free to make your New Year resolution as a free person that is not energetically connected to your past in such a way that it would be a burden. Because if it's connected in this way and you don't want it anymore in your life, it is a burden that holds you back. So that's why we have disconnected it, and come back with your full attention into your body. Breathe, focus on your breathing. Slowly open your eyes if they were closed, and light the switch off the candle. So that's it about how to make New Year's resolutions that would work. Energetically disconnect with what you don't want. And these were maybe all tips that I wanted to share today. And I hope you will have amazing new year full of energy and full of your dreams, that you will have energy on working on your dreams, and that you will have energy to fulfill them and to manifest them into your physical life, because that's why we are here, not only to manifest it in your mind, but to connect it with your energetical system and with your physical body, to embody all your dreams, all your manifestations. So I wish you a lot of energy for that, because we need a lot of physical power and maybe even resources to make our dreams come true. So have a lot of courage to do this, and have a nice day. Bye.